We all know the environment has changed dramatically over the last few decades, but do we know how much? What if we told you that technology, industry, and our choices have shaped two drastically different worlds before and after the year 2000? Stick around to see just how much has changed in this eye-opening journey through time. From lush forests to concrete jungles, and from rising pollution to new solutions. Let's rewind the clock to the time before 2000. Environmental issues were on the radar, but the urgency was different. Here's a breakdown of the pros and cons for the environment during this period. Back then, biodiversity was richer, and many ecosystems were relatively undisturbed. Wildlife thrived in many regions, and habitats, though threatened, weren't as fragmented as they are now. Conservation awareness was growing too. Iconic moments like the first Earth Day in 1970 and major treaties like the 1987 Montreal Protocol showed we could make a global impact. The Montreal Protocol alone helped repair the ozone layer by phasing out harmful CFCs. Urban areas were smaller, meaning that while there was pollution, untouched lands and green spaces were more prevalent. Acid rain, though problematic in some regions, was reduced through effective regulations on sulfur emissions, but it wasn't all green. Industry before 2000 had few checks. Factories pumped pollutants into the air, rivers were often used for waste dumping, and emissions were largely unregulated. The result? Smog-filled cities, acid rain, and the early signs of climate change. Carbon emissions were rising, though few connected the dots to climate change just yet. And let's not forget waste. Recycling programs were new, electronic waste was piling up, and the single-use plastics we take for granted today were just starting to flood the market. As we crossed into the 21st century, technology began transforming the world in unprecedented ways. But what did it mean for the environment? Let's look at the pros and cons of the environment after 2000. One of the biggest shifts was the rise of renewable energy. After 2000, countries around the world invested heavily in clean energy. Today, solar and wind power are among the fastest-growing energy sources globally. In fact, the cost of solar energy has dropped by over 80% since 2010, making it cheaper than fossil fuels in many places. Electric vehicles took off too. As technology improved, companies like Tesla and Toyota led the EV revolution, reducing urban air pollution and offering a sustainable alternative to gas-powered cars. Technology also enabled us to monitor the environment like never before. AI and machine learning help scientists analyze environmental data, predict weather patterns, and monitor endangered species. For example, AI-powered drones are used to track deforestation in real time, making it possible to take action faster. Did you know? Since the year 2000, we've seen a 15% increase in forest cover in certain countries due to reforestation programs. And thanks to online banking and digital records, paper use has dropped, with companies saving over 1 billion trees by going digital. However, our progress came with serious downsides. Industrialization boomed worldwide, especially in developing countries. As more countries built factories and expanded cities, pollution soared. Urban air quality in major cities like Delhi, Beijing, and Mexico City reached hazardous levels, affecting millions. Deforestation accelerated in regions like the Amazon, driven by agriculture and livestock industries. More than 30 million acres of forest are still lost every year, with devastating consequences for biodiversity and climate stability. Plastic pollution exploded after 2000. Today, we're producing about 300 million tons of plastic waste annually, and 8 million tons end up in the ocean each year. E-waste is another growing crisis, with over 50 million tons generated in 2020 alone, much of it improperly disposed of. Technology itself is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's helping us monitor and combat climate change. On the other, it has a hefty carbon footprint. Data centers that power the digital world consume as much electricity as some small countries. Every search, stream, and download takes energy, and it all adds up. Then there's the demand for raw materials. Electric vehicle batteries, solar panels, and wind turbines require metals like lithium and cobalt. Mining for these metals can be environmentally destructive and often raises ethical concerns about labor practices. Many companies recognizing their impact have started to take action. Tech giants like Google, Apple, and Amazon have committed to using 100% renewable energy in their operations. Google became carbon neutral in 2007 and has been working toward running on carbon-free energy 24/7. Industries are evolving too. From sustainable packaging to corporate reforestation projects, companies are making sustainability part of their brand. But not all initiatives are equally impactful. Some efforts, like eco-friendly packaging, only scratch the surface, while issues like emissions and resource extraction remain. So what can we do? Understanding the past and present gives us a roadmap for the future. Technology has the potential to continue revolutionizing our approach to climate issues, but it requires conscious effort from individuals, corporations, and governments. From supporting clean energy to choosing eco-friendly products and reducing waste, every choice counts. And as consumers, we have the power to hold companies accountable for their environmental impact. Our world has changed drastically before and after 2000, and it's up to us to shape the future. Will we continue down a path of environmental harm, or will we use our knowledge and technology to create a sustainable world? Let's work together to ensure our planet thrives for generations to come. Thanks for watching. If this video opened your eyes to the changes in our environment, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Let's stay informed and take action for a greener future. See you next time.